Hey, this is TYPEV3 and let's get straight to the point. This is my top 5 favorite toys of 2013. When putting together this list, I only used one rule. The toy had to be released in the past year. With that said, let's count down. At number 5 is Sentinel's Ryobone Buster Machine 7. This 6-inch figure is gorgeous to look at and fun to play around with. Sure, the articulation could use some minor improvements, the price tag is definitely too high, and if I'm being completely honest, there's probably better toys more suited to take this spot on the list. So why is Buster Machine 7 one of my favorites of the year? Well, it's simply because she exists. As a fan of Die Buster, I was always saddened by the little merchandise that came from the series and was desperate to get my hands on anything. So when Sentinel announced this item, I could only be excited. But when finding out that the figure was actually great, I was ecstatic. And that's reason enough to be my 5th favorite toy of 2013. Taking the number 4 spot is SH Figuarts War Machine. I've always believed that SH Figuarts are the very best in the action figure market, and War Machine is the pinnacle of what the toy line has to offer. It's awesome as a display piece, and despite the bulky frame, it can pose like a yoga goddess. It comes with an abundance of accessories, features, and the effect parts are super cool too. An included display base would make the entire package perfect. Still, as it is right now, it is the benchmark that all action figures should strive to reach. It's also worth mentioning that SH Figuarts Iron Man is equally as good, it's just that I personally found War Machine to be that little bit better. Next up at number 3 is Transformers Masterpiece PROWL. As far as official Transformers are concerned, Masterpiece PROWL was the one to buy this year. The toy looks sharp, especially in vehicle mode. The transformation is sublime, and there's even enough articulation packed in that will put some purpose-built action figures to shame. It's a fun package overall. Quality control is definitely this toy's Achilles heel, yet there's no real flaws with the core design. In fact, he's so good that he could have easily been number 1 on this list. So why isn't he? Well, I'm just not a fan of PROWL. He's such an ugly robot. Cartoon accurate? Sure, but his original design is hideous nonetheless. So despite all the technical prowess, Masterpiece PROWL stays at number 3 because, well, I'm shallow. The runner-up at number 2 is the Super Robot Chogokin Gurren Lagann. Now, I'll fully admit that there's some huge bias coming into play as Gurren Lagann is my favorite anime, and I'll even go as far as to say that other 2013 SRC releases such as Mazen Kaiser and Shin Getter 1 are technically better figures. But there is no toy I had more fun with this year than Gurren Lagann. Despite some artistic liberties like the Die Gurren logo, I think this toy is beautiful with its die-cast construction, and there's some impressive engineering that lets you recreate some of the most ridiculous sequences in the anime. On top of all the included accessories, there's even an add-on pack which gives you everything else you could want. This toy is the definition of fun and has the toughest time staying on my shelf because I can't stop playing with it. Seriously, it's that good. Now before we get to the number 1 spot, let's take a look at a few figures who just missed the cut. First up is the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Sandtrooper. This is a great action figure and probably the closest any Western toy company has come to rivaling the offerings from Eastern competition. I think this toy would have been a real contender with a couple of slight improvements all around, though I will say that the Black Series is probably my favorite new toy line from 2013. Next is Figma Labrys, and this is probably the best Figma release of the year. Its presentation is magnificent, it has an upgraded Figma body, and is packed with accessories. The only reason it's not on this list is because I simply like the other 5 toys better. The last toys to miss the cut are the SH Figuarts Sailor Moon and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers figures. If my list were based on nostalgia alone, these would skyrocket to the top. They're the toys I've been wanting for 20 years. However, nostalgia removed, and these reveal themselves to just be really good toys rather than great ones. Especially considering SH Figuarts have shown with their Iron Men that they're capable of so much more. Alright, no more distractions, let's get to the moment you've been waiting for. At number 1, my favorite toy from 2013 is the Arcadia VF1S Roy. Far and away, this is without doubt the best toy I've handled in the past year. Its classic design is statuesque in appearance, and the figure as a whole is a masterpiece in engineering. The transformation is fluid and rewarding. All 3 modes are distinct, and none of them suffer for the sake of another. Of course, it has its share of minor faults too, but beyond that, the VF1S is the closest thing to a perfect transforming toy. Now you may say I've cheated by putting this figure on the list since its original mold came out back in 2008 under the Yamato branding. However, in those past 5 years, this Valkyrie received multiple revisions and fixes to finally arrive at this exemplary release. It's also a testament to the original design that despite being half a decade old, it's still greater than any other transforming toy to date. So there you have it, my top 5 favorite toys of 2013. It was a great year filled with plenty of awesome releases, and there was also so much more that I just didn't have room to list. Obviously, I don't collect everything, so if there's any other cool toys you think I missed out on, I'd love to know about them. Anyways, this has been TYPEV3. Thanks for watching, happy 2014, and I'll see you in the next review.